Now, lastly, I want to make everyone aware
Is this
here.
wait, hold on. Is it an album cover for like that Michael Jackson Save the World thing?
First off, Michael Jackson wasn't the only one that sang that song. There were like 20 artists, and they were all really big names, and there were people in there that weren't even song artists that were in there.
Okay,
So
well,
you need to
is it the
check
song where
yourself.
Michael Jackson says Save the world, make it a better place"?
I don't know. I just fucking Googled Earth Destruction, and that's what came up, and I
Earth
liked it.
destruction. That looks like a bunch of hands like touching the earth.
I think that it's supposed to be things blown out somewhere. But anyways,
It doesn't look like it.
the reason that this photo of the bring the earth together, according to Drunk Joe here, is up there is because one of our greatest scientific minds of the age has
He
decided
was.
has decided that it will be less than 100 years before we should flee the earth.
I mean, there's a lot of good reasons to flee the earth right now. I don't know why 100 years from now is going to be any
Especially
different.
if you live in America.
Oh, well.
But I mean, so here's the thing: is
What's the thing?
I can agree
Tell me the thing.
with. By the way, we're talking about Stephen Hawking.
We're talking about Stephen Hawking and how he thinks that AI is going to take over the fucking world.
No,
And we're all going to be.
not just AI.
We should all just worship our new robot overlords.
It's not just AI. Okay.
What else could it be?
Well, the overpopulation. The
Oh, please, dude.
the
You know how much
overpollution.
area isn't populated? There's so much space
Yeah,
in the world.
there's
It's
space in the
retarded.
world that isn't populated because it doesn't make economic sense to populate it. Like,
Yeah, guess
near
why it
us.
doesn't make economic sense to populate it? Because there's no population centers around it. That's why it doesn't make any sense to populate it.
Like the desert that we live near is not populated because
We live in a fucking desert.
yeah, we do live in the desert, but I'm talking about like, large land masses. The bigger portion of the state is not populated because it's just too difficult to populate it. Just throwing down streets and shit like that there, the infrastructure alone would cost so much fucking money compared to a place that, was in the middle of the sticks that they could
Do you know what actually stifles growth? It's not terrain. It's the government. It's regulation. People,
you think
think
that the
of it this
reason
way.
that the bigger portion of Nevada is not populated is
No,
because the government's stopping it, not
No,
because it's mostly fucking sand?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the reason that hasn't been populated is because we don't need to populate it yet. Okay, there are places that are more hospitable, and it makes a lot more sense to go there first. But it doesn't mean you can't populate a desert because we already do it. There are already a
And
bunch
we
of
could
villages
also live
and
in
cities.
towers that are 100 stories tall, where we
Yeah,
would never
and
have
they
to.
do that too.
Yeah, okay, but like,
Well, okay, give me the real. Okay, so it's not space, right? We established that it is not a limited amount of space to house
no,
the people.
but it is a limited
What's
amount of
the actual-
space.
Well, okay,
Okay,
hold on,
because if we-
hold on. One at a time. So we've already established that it's not a limited amount of space for the people to reside in.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, so what is the limited space for? What is the problem?
So the problem is that people are only going to live near the resources that are required for people to live, which is going to be, food, water, work.
You don't do that. The only thing you live near is work.
I
The
don't
only
live
water
near
you find
work.
is from the city, and the only food you eat is from the supermarket.
Yeah, I have access to all three of these things.
Yeah, but the only reason there's a supermarket is because there's people here. So anywhere you go, anywhere people go, there will be a supermarket because
Okay,
there
but
will
in
be
the
a market.
scenario where we build up 100 stories in every building, that's not the case. And it's just exceedingly dangerous to have a building that's that tall, especially if there are any kind of, attacks on it of any kind or even a disaster.
It's not dangerous to have a big building. They have them everywhere.
Yeah, but I'm saying that if there's like a fire inside of a big building, it's more dangerous than a fire inside of like a house.
So you
'Cause
make
there's
it
more
safer.
people that are. So now we're going to talk about we make the earth safer, it'll be okay.
Do you think houses burn more often than apartment buildings? Because I think so.
No, I think apartment buildings burn more often than houses.
When I say apartment buildings, I don't mean like the 4-unit one. I mean like the giant apartment buildings that are in like New York and stuff. like an
Oh
apartment
no,
building.
I'm pretty sure that those burn more frequently too. And
It would.
the damage to those is usually more extensive, but since those buildings inside of New York that you're talking about are usually made out of like brick or some kind of,
Steel.
stone or something.
Steel.
Yeah, if they're made out of steel, apparently that's not good enough that, they can't just replace it. So usually they'll have to replace that kind of shit. But either way, so
We don't have stats on
let's
that.
just
I disagree.
let's just say that population is not a reason to leave Earth. Okay, well, I will disagree, but I will agree to concede
Yeah.
that there isn't a problem with populating area. Okay, so there's no reason that we should have to leave for population, except unless we start to get like everywhere is like China, basically. You know what I mean? And besides that, AI taking over the world, I don't think is really a big deal. Like that's not anything.
Are you saying you wouldn't mind if they did, or you don't think that they will?
I mean, I think that if they do, it'll be more like the Wall-E type takeover, not necessarily the Terminator type takeover. So
Yeah, that makes more sense.
so that's kind of how I feel like it will be. But the thing that I am concerned about is something very controversial in America today: climate change and
Shut the fuck up.
pollution, basically.
Shut the fuck up.
Wait,
Climate change.
you don't believe that pollution is the thing?
Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? Do you know how low pollution is right now in the States?
So what? So it's low in the States.
Do you know where it's actually high? Do you know where pollution is actually high in the world?
Where is it high?
You don't know?
I would assume China.
China's one of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Where else?
Anywhere that there's huge production markets. China, India.
India, yeah.
I mean, Taiwan. Like,
I don't know about Taiwan.
I don't know.
Germany.
Huh. I wonder. I mean, they make a lot of beer, but
Yeah, that's all Germany does.
but no.
So
I mean,
here-
like we could agree that there's pollution, right? At the very
Of course,
least.
there's. You know what? There's more
And
pollution
what do you
from.
think? What do you think happens to that pollution? It just
All right, I'm going to pose to you a very specific question.
okay.
Would you stop eating beef for the rest of your life?
That's the question. That's it.
Yep.
For no other reason.
To stop pollution.
No. And they won't. Here's the thing. Here's the reason that I wouldn't to stop pollution, because now hold on. Let me say this. If you changed it to, would you stop eating beef to stop pollution for 1 billion people? Then sure. Okay? But it's never going to happen because people are never going to stop eating.
You know what
these
else they're not
meats.
going to stop doing?
Polluting.
Driving cars.
Polluting.
They're never going to stop driving cars.
Polluting. You're right. They're never going to
Well.
stop polluting.
I choose to say driving cars, the byproduct of which is polluting. People don't go out and wake up and say, you know what I'm going to do today?
And
I'm going to
by
go
the way,
pollute
I want to
fucking
mention that that's polluting no matter what kind of car you drive, because people always tend to forget that those batteries have to go fucking somewhere in your electric car after they've burnt out or have to be replaced. So
You know, I get the battery thing for gas mileage to save money. I get that. But I recently purchased a car, and I will tell you that the $4,000 premium on average that a hybrid car costs does not offset the cost of the gas mileage difference for the life of the, let's say, 10 years of the car. Okay, maybe after 15, 20 years, maybe. But after 15, 20
you don't
years...
buy it because of that. You buy it because it's environmentally friendly,
Well,
which
here's-
is
hold-
completely fucking false.
Hold on, it gets better. Okay, well, I don't do it for that. I would do it to save money,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't save money in the near term. Now, after those 10 years goes by, I'm guessing, and I have no proof of this, but I'm guessing there's going to be some problem with that electric car related to the battery,
Oh, yeah.
and that's going to cost me more than repairing a regular car. Now, here's the kicker, okay? And this is not a knock. This is a really big positive for an electric car, okay? Not a hybrid car, a full electric car,
Yeah.
okay? I know a guy, and he bought some, I think it's like a Mitsubishi or something. I can't remember the brand. But he bought some off-brand electric car at a dealership. And they have a deal with a local power company. And the local power company discounts the power bill for the house that the car is plugged into. Okay, so you're paying, instead of, let's just say you pay $1 per kilowatt, now you're paying 45 cents a kilowatt just because you own that fucking car.
Per kilowatt, man, you are fucking getting screwed.
I don't know. Okay, I'm just saying. Let's say you pay 100% of the cost
I think
of
the
one.
standard cost right now in the state is 11 cents.
Okay. So let's just say you pay 10 cents per kilowatt. Okay.
Sure.
Now you're paying 4.5 cents per kilowatt just because you own the car. Okay, yeah. That's crazy. That's beautiful.
I wonder how long it goes on for, but yeah, that'd be cool. So, I mean, I do believe that the eventuality is that Earth will become uninhabitable due to one of the problems that was stated by Mr. Hawking, which I believe they were pretty much what you summed up: population, pollution, AI, essentially.
I don't think so. What is pollution? The worst pollution.
Now, I do have to say, I don't think it will happen in 100 years. I think it'll happen.
Yeah, it won't happen in our
that.
lifetime. I agree, but and you know, this is kind of a cop out. I agree. Like, you know, intellectually, it's a cop out.
Yeah.
I would think that, like just like 100 years ago, they didn't think that we would have nuclear power. Okay, 100 years from now, we're probably going to have something even better than cold fusion. Okay.
Yeah, and like, I mean, here's the thing: is I've always said to people,
and we never would have got there unless we used the fossil fuels that were available to us.
Yeah, and it's
so
with everything always kind of advancing and going forward and evolving, you know, whenever I see someone that's overweight and unhealthy and things like this, whenever I see this, you know,
you want to watch them fall.
No, not necessarily, but it would be funny. But I always think like, oh man, that's really, really unhealthy, and they're probably shortening their lifespan. But then I additionally think by the time that they're old enough that they're going to die from this, they'll have a pill that they can take that'll just fucking clear their arteries, and it'll be all good.
I really doubt that.
I mean, nano-machines are a thing, man. But
I know nano-machines are a thing, but I think that there is always going to be actual consequences to the human body forever. I really believe that. I think forever there will always be the hard way to fix things, and there will never be the easy thing for humans.
We could definitely talk about some of the stuff that is coming forward in
that should be
bodily
topic,
structure. Yeah, a different topic on a different time. So that basically sums up all of our topics today, guys.
Oh my God, we went long. Jeez.
Yeah, a little bit long. So
I didn't even feel like it. Sorry.
Thanks again for joining us. If you have any suggestions for future shows, please let us know. Please do comment, subscribe to our channel, and again, cheers.
Oh yeah, if you're gonna subscribe, upvote or downvote. Downvote. No, I mean upvote. Upvote.
Upvote or downvote what?
Us, the channel. I mean the video.
Yeah.
The thumbs up or thumbs down.
Yeah, exactly. And if you thumbs down us, please leave a comment for why you thumbs down us, because otherwise we can't get better.
That's fair.
Cheers again, and thanks for joining us.
Deuces.